It also helps if the microphone's on. Hi! There we go. Alright. Hello! Hello, YouTube land. Hello, peoples. Anyone who might be viewing, probably Bribes. Any minute now. We are playing a very, very fun game that I've fully played through at least once. Just the vanilla game itself. It's called Our Life Beginnings, Beginnings and Always. It's a very, very sweet, very cute, and very kind of validating visual novel, which it's sort of different experience for visual novels. As the title suggests, we date our best friend. We start when we're 8 years old, so on that side of the screen, this guy right here, we meet him. His name's Cove, and my wings are done. Of course they are. What we're gonna do is quickly set up, and I'm gonna take a quick little break and get all my wings there. But yeah, and then we at 8 years old, and then every 5 years incrementally until like 18. So we have. It's a 3-parter. We spend 3 summers, and we get to know, fall in love, and also get to really develop ourselves as a main character as well, which is really, really neat. Currently, the game is, I'm on PC, so if you have PC as well, it is on Steam right now for free with a bunch of DLC that can be bought, and I've bought all the DLC. The vanilla game, when it comes by itself, it gives you 1 free DLC, which is the voiced names. Normally, without that DLC, you get 1 voice name to choose from, and it's the default name, which is Jamie, which we'll go and see in a second here. But my name's not Jamie, so we are going to set this up here real quick. It's also such a very good name, or game as well. There's a gameplay explanation of the sections to appear. No. I'll let y'all discover and figure it out. Okay. So now we gotta design us. So, for designing me, I mean, I guess I have a round shape for a face. Okay, chubby, let's be honest. Yeah. Pointed. I mean, I used to be very pointy. Oval. Peach. Square. Round. And we're back to round. Okay. In my playthrough, I forget what I actually did, but we're gonna go. And we're gonna go this chubby round at this point. So yeah. Skin tone. We're pale. Boy, that's a lot lighter on what you guys are seeing. So we know we're actually gonna go. We're kind of gonna go peachy. Pale, dark red, definitely not. There we go. Eye shape. So my eyes are weird. They kind of droop at the ends a bit. Like this is okay, but like not that, but like that. That is what I would probably go for my eyes. So that I like. And my eyes are. Do we have a lighter color? No, it's just gonna be blue. We're just gonna do blue. Oh, we'll quickly do the name change here. So she, and then voice names. So here's the default, and then here alphabetically are all the names. If you can find yours in here, but otherwise, you know, there's always
Ryan.
And you can hear the name. No. And you can scroll down. R-O. I'm looking for mine.
Rose.
Alright. Now, what did I look like as a kid? What do I want to look like as a kid? Like... Really? I mean, honestly, I did have sort of like... I did have short hair. For sure. You guys, I have the best roommate ever. Wings! Awesome. Alright. My hair's been up all day, so like... You know, it's like... I don't know. Oh, here's the weird, crazy thing, too. I mean, like, if the flag is any indication in the background, I wasn't necessarily, you know, I didn't grow up the way I think I would have wanted to have grown up. So, what would have, like, ideal me have gone for? What would have worked for me? Hey, Jessica! Yes, my roommate is, in fact, the best cousin ever. How are you doing, Jessica? We're playing a visual novel. We're making me as a kid, as an 8-year-old. Okay, I would have... Oh god, no, I hate hair on my forehead. My hair is so fine, it bugs the heck out of me, so no. I mean, this sort of... Oh, I would have... Yeah. I would have done a good old classic center part. Ooh. That's what my mom would have wanted me to have had. I've been watching since you started. Nice! Oh gosh, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Maybe parted. We're gonna do parted. We like that classic center part, and then hair back. I definitely would have grown out my hair, but I think at 8... Hang on. Yeah, 8 years old, I would have done braids, and of course I did not have black hair. Ooh. I think 8 would have been way too young for me to have dyed my hair. Aw, miss you both. That's so sweet. We miss you too. Happy holidays, by the way. Oh, you know what? I kind of like that. Nah, that's kind of weird. That makes more sense there, yeah. Because my hair does the weird thing, too, where it's like, it's lighter on the top, and it fades out that way. Okay, yeah, so there's a good start. Oh, there we go. You just have to type it. Okay. What do we want our last name to be? What do we want our last name to be? Hey, Jess, any ideas? Nice, we have a present for you guys. Wait, a present? For the two of us? Hang on a second here. You know, while we decide on the last name, we're gonna just take a couple things as well. So, like, we can do birthmarks, which... Ah, neat. Oh, sweet. Okay. And we can do, like, scars, because we're, like, a clumsy kid or a badass kid. Do rosy cheeks. Freckles. Hand size. Now, I'm gonna go with medium. I've got chubby French-Canadian fingers in real life, so we're gonna get that. And at 8 years old, yes, I had glasses. Oh, I'm lost on names. Okay, no worries. I'm gonna come up with something in that case, then. And, you know, as much as I would have had glasses, I don't want to go with glasses, because I don't like my options. Maybe something for her first Christmas on this earth. Oh my gosh! Little Brianna made us something? Wow. That's one talented newborn. Or however many months she is right now. It's been a few months now, actually. Okay, some kind of important stuff. So, birthmarks, scars, no. Clothing types, I definitely would have been like a dress, shirts, and skirts kind of gal. Pants occasionally. Yeah, there we go. Accessories, I would have done either the bracelets and necklaces. Not so much a hats kit until like later in life, so that'll be reflected. But yeah, we get to update this at every part. So right now, this is us at 8. 9 3/4. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's... Can't believe that it's been that long. I also saw photos of her with taking pictures with Santa Claus. She seems to... It's a rarity with kids, and especially newborns. She seemed to like him. Just like, yeah! Who this guy? Like, my picture is just her looking at him. He's just like, oh, hi there. And she's like, hello. Well, I don't want to, like, use my... Well, I mean, my legal name's already on... My legal last name's on there, but you know what I'm just gonna do? We are going to do... I liked... Well, actually, we're gonna do the last name as the city I live in, so we're gonna do the... Victoria. So our last name is Victoria. Cause why not? And we're back to the beginning here. Okay. And then once we're all done, and probably a third time. Lol, definitely not. Oh no. Oh dear. That's why you're in the other pictures with her. Hey, that makes sense. All right. Okay. Here we go. And we're done. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usual sleepy town began to bustle. Oh yeah, we hit the spacebar, I forgot.
Did you want that? I don't think I'll ever wear that.
Yeah, I do. That's Neptune, isn't it?
Yep.
Hell to the yeah. Because I want to kind of cosplay her too, actually. So, yeah, a Sailor Neptune necklace is pretty appropriate for me right now. Hey Dreves! Dreves, say hello to Jessica. Jessica's a really, really good friend of mine and cousin to my roommate. Jessica Dreves is the man that I love and I will be very, very happy to live with one day. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach. I'm going to turn this down because I sound like I'm talking over something. I hope it's not too low for you guys. With people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of school-less vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like... Your moms, by the way. Moms. Count them, plural. Our main character has 2 moms. Wait till you see them. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander off too far outside your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. Oh, Jessica, nice to meet you. Yeah. Neptune! Yeah. Let's get Neptune in chat. All both of ya. But they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. Okay, so here's where we can start developing some stuff, and part of it's cut off because of my little window here, but that's fine. So in the explanation that I skipped, I'm just going to go over it with you guys. You'll notice if you hover over the different things, they have different colors. Neptune! So blue is sort of like calm, cool, like collected, just like, yeah, this is, you know, that sort of thing. And yellow's a bit more enthusiastic. It's a bit more of like a, yeah, or impulsive and stuff like that. And then this sort of minty green over here is, for the third option, is sort of like relaxed, chill, not so much laid back as, say, like the blue one is, but it's more shy. It's more timid. It's more like, well, maybe we don't want to rustle, like, you know, if you have the option of just like, oh, we're going to go on a boat. It's like, okay, then let's go fishing. That would be the blue one. The yellow one would be like, let's go in the boat and pretend we're in a storm and then like tip over and stuff like that. The green one would be like, let's not go on the boat at all, and let's think of something else to do. Maybe let's not go fishing. Something along those lines. You'll kind of see the different things. Like, I'll even just read them out. You didn't get why they always said hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. Now, believe it or not, I was very much a shy kid growing up. I'm not sure if that's a new thing for you, but as a kid, I was very, very shy. I remember more times being like terrified and crying at school because some stupid kid kept scaring the shit out of me as a kid. I think I remember his name, but I'm not gonna say it just for reasons I don't want to get in any kind of trouble. But no, he always scared the pants off of me, and I was never okay with it. And I let everyone know I was a weeper. It was not fun. Especially early elementary school was not fun for me. I think I got around okay pretty much at like 8 years old, I think. So, yeah. Because, yeah, we're supposed to be 8 years old. So, I'm going to go with the blue answer here. You know, you didn't get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. That was my thing. I was just like, still kind of is my thing. I'm like, mm-hmm. When I visited Bribes in April, though, he was always just so like, hi. And I'm like, oh, we do that here too? It's weird. Being another part of the world is very interesting. And I forget, I'm just like, oh, we do that everywhere. It's crazy. It was the polite thing to do after all, and your moms had taught you to try to always be respectful. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. Ooh, music change. He was sitting with his head in his hands. His whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. That'd have been me. I'd have been very much the imaginative type. Whoever or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really, really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a whole lot of red flags. Your mom's had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie, we also have a sister named Lizzie, about this kind of situation before. Again, we're developing some character and some backstory. His name is Poopy McJerkpant. I like Poopy McJerkpant. McJerkpant. Just one. Extremes. Fuck. You hadn't exactly... So yeah, we get to develop how it just like... So mom and mom gave us the talk about strangers. We have the choice of... You hadn't exactly listening at the time. You think it was okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types can help you even if you don't know them. Ooh, excuse me. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite to them. I mean, I chose the last one. Do we have a... but yeah, blue... Yellow or green? What do we want to go with? I've played my route before. At this point, I'm just like, what are we feeling? Blue, green, or sorry, blue, yellow, or green? It's really easy now, but then it gets more complicated later. How are we feeling? How are we feeling, you two? So, about strangers. Rose, you listening? What? What did we talk to you about? I don't remember. God, that would have been me. Shh. Sheesh. Alright, you hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You'd think it would be okay to talk to new people. Okay, so we gotta vote for blue. How about you, Drews? You going with blue, or do you have another answer? I'll tie break. It's just the three of us right now. While we're waiting on responses, I'm just gonna... Okay, we're all agreed. Blue it is. But you weren't sure about this man yet. Ooh, okay. Another quickfire one. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. But you were pretty interested. You were pretty interested. You wanted to go. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. You didn't want to be bothered. What are we thinking here? I mean, I would have been a little bit... I definitely would have been a lot of bit scared. I might have been actually, like... I might have been green, so, I mean, my vote's green. That's just my vote. You don't have to vote like me. This is a democracy. But yeah, do we feel a little bit scared he's blocking our way? Are we pretty interested? Are we kind of interested? Are we kind of curious? Or do we just are we just gonna hard nope? Okay, we got yellow. I like the enthusiasm you got there, Jessica. Yellow, as I'm noticing. Well, I mean, majority rules. This is a democracy. But we are interested. You were interested. You wanted to go, or you wanted to know more about what was going on. Yellow in chat! Yeah! You slowed down, your eyes remaining fixed on the man. There was a split second where your eyes met and you knew he was aware he wasn't alone in the street anymore. Hey! Oh no! You raised your eyebrows at the shout. Where? Did he want something? Is that why he was here? Are we gonna get kidnapped? Not the story. That's not this game. The man stood up and started to make his way toward you. I would have ran at this point. I would just be like, nope. Like I said, shy kid. I noped so hard. Not wanting to seem too approachable, you folded your arms and stared. I feel might be the popular choice. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offer the stranger a smile. Your whole body froze in place as he approached. I mean, the option I just said was not even there, but That last thing would have been me as a kid, for sure. Once again, blue, green, or yellow. Are we... It's barley. It's barley. Dreams! I mean, so do we... Oh dear. I have no sound! I can't hear anything! I can't hear the music! There we go. So do we... Or do we... We love blue, it looks like. Dreams, are you in agreement? Are we true blue? Are we like our frame? Is this gonna be a blue playthrough? Alright. Are you guys cool with these decision makings as well? Because I really just want to make this as interactive as possible, and I figured this is gonna be a pretty good idea. So if you guys are into this, I'm cool with it. But yeah, I like the idea of like either heart emojis or saying what color, or like heart emojis with different colors. And there should be actually a yellow, or a blue, a yellow, and a green one in there, so I'd freeze, honestly. Okay, in that case then, since I would as well, and again, majority votes. Sorry, Jessica, on this one, we're gonna go green. Your whole body froze in place as he approached. Oh my god, he has a voice. He talks. Oh, and he's cute, too. But we don't know that. He's 8. When we're 8 years old, he's probably like 28, 28, I guess. I didn't know ages as a kid. Do you live here? What's your name? Do you live here? Like, what's your name? I don't know. He's gonna go for like, we're gonna go for like the surfer voice for sure. You look the man up and down, taking in his tanned skin and relaxed appearance. Oh yeah, definitely that one. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks in his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Alright, once again, blue, yellow, green. Yeah, I live right here. My name is Rose. My social security number is 1234. We continue to say nothing. Do we just say, yeah, I live here? Do we give that away? Do we essentially dox ourselves, or do we just continue to just stare terrifyingly? I have some stuff in my game, so if you and Jessica want to do the choosing, I'll gladly watch. Okay, looks like it's between you and me, Jess. I'm gonna vote for green. And we're kind of frozen in fear at this point, so let's see if she's still around there. Green! Streams green! Green. Just... You have so many necklaces.
I know, do we? Everyone would like any of these.
Probably. Probably the dragon one.
Probably the dragon.
I mean, I'd definitely go for the dragon one myself, but, you know.
Yeah, something anymore. Thinking this guy too, because she's punk like that, but then I don't know what to do with this.
What's that one?
Also, say nice cold.
There you go. Alright. If you do... He rubbed the back of his head uncomfortably, giving you a small smile. Is he bribing us? I'm sorry. Pulling out the... Is that... That's not Benjamin Franklin. Wait. Oh, that's a $20 bill. Okay. Who is that? It's American. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him.
Well...
Well, could you, like, do me a favor? Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have, let me start over. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name's Cove, who's about your age. Alright, another one here. Blue, yellow, green. Blue, yellow, green. Cove, that seemed like a strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. You thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't kind of want to go on the green path, but I mean, like, I thought that was... I always used it to be like, actually, that's pretty cool. Yellow. Oops. Oh dear. I hope she didn't get... Oh no. Jessica, I'm sorry. I hope you didn't get too muted. Unfortunately... Oh, I need to change the spam filters on here. Shoot. I don't know how long the timeout is. I hope it's not forever. Oh, Jess, I'm sorry. I'm in bed, just saying hello before going to bed. Hello, Jade! Hey! We're just gonna... Dreves, actually, is there anything that you can do, like, take someone out of timeout? Oh, this is a butthead, sorry about that. I know, right? Actually... You know what, we are gonna solve this... We're gonna solve this right away. So we're gonna go on a quick little be right back here, and since we got some like game music going here, so we'll head right back in just 1 second here. Hang tight, we're gonna bring Jessica back. All is okay. Hey, go. Okay, there we go. Never mind. Never mind. We're all good. Yeah, just be careful about spamming things. Just do one emoji. Just do one emoji. That's all we need. I probably should have said so before. Just like, yeah, spamming emojis. I'll have to fix that. I'll fix it after this stream for sure, but yeah. Good. At least you're still here. I'm sorry about that. But no undoing things. Ah! What is the point? What is the point of giving power? Alright. Alright, so I believe you said yellow. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. I'm happy to go with that. Unless, yeah, Dreves, you're watching, right? So by all means, yeah, we can do that. If you gave permission for me and Jess to go with it, then we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with yellow. You chewed on the inside of your cheek, and this guy was definitely obsessed with water. He wasn't the only person like that in Sunset Bird. We've moved in across the street, see? Now I know, my fault. I'm sorry. It's okay. You've done nothing wrong. I just set stuff up because... We'll one-on-one talk about that later. There's a stream that's no longer available on my YouTube because near the end of it, it was hell. Let's just put it that way. I end up on a recommended page and suddenly a whole lot of people were on my page. I was not prepared. I was not ready. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured toward the house that had been empty for a year. His watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflected off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Rose Victoria, right? I met your moms earlier and they told me you were 8, just like him, so... He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting at his lips at the corners. We will definitely talk later about, for sure. Oh, it's bad. Can you try and be friends with my boy? For 20 bucks? Dude, what do you think your son is worth? 8 years old, don't answer that question. Nobody touch that question at all. No. Dude, 20 bucks? Okay, if some rando, like, dad was just like, hey, I got 20 bucks, can you be friends with my, like, 8-year-old? Like, dude. The chaos led to stream elements, which is a bit tight. Silly stuff. It really is. It's been really tight for sure. But I mean, I can't really knock it. I need it, and I have to use it because I'm very, very small peanuts right now. Just give it a chance, and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him.
Do you mind?
But you've got to keep it a secret too, okay? I wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. You eyed the man. Sir? Sir. Sir. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? What do you think, Jess? Blue, yellow, or green? I mean, just like bombastic side eye. Like, I mean, even as an adult, I'm giving this guy the side eye, just like, really, dude? You're gonna bribe another kid $20 to be friends with your kid? I mean, we're gonna find out more about Cove in a bit, but like, how do we feel about this bozo over here? Like, are we kidding? I would have absolutely told my moms about, like, my mom's or my mom in IRL about him. Just like, yeah, some guy offered me $20 to be friends with his kid. Should I do it? Blue. You are the man. Side eye. What could be so bad about this Cove kid that his dad would need to bribe strangers to be friends with him? What do you say? Want to make a deal? No deal. No deal. I'll just be friends with him. You didn't want... it's very clear. Took the bill, didn't want the money. You're running away. There we go. Finally, my options arrived. My time has arrived. God. This scene in this situation is so awkward. I mean, my vote's gonna be probably for yellow. We didn't want the money. Green, interesting. Okay. You spun around and made a break for it. Stranger danger! No thanks, Elfman. You don't offer an explanation, you just focused on getting away. God. You know what to do. God damn it. You know, this might end up being, we try to fall in love with our best friend, but our dad creeps us the frick out. I can't breathe. Oh no, Jess, I'm sorry. The Caps also has one as well. And I can't, I just saw I can't breathe. I know. Like Drees was saying, the silliest stuff. It'll just... Maybe I should fix that now. Jesus. Honestly, I've never just full-on run away in this before, so this is new to me now. Because I was just like, I don't want the money, but I'm going to go be friends with your kid. Because I'm going to just show you how it's done. I mean, logically, this is actually the smartest thing to do IRL. It's just like, hey, do you want to be friends with my kid? Stranger danger. God damn it. Wow. I was expecting to get to the really funny stuff later. But the music sounds so sad. I'm waiting for like a what's her name? What's her name? Kimmy Schmidt. Hey, stranger danger! Stranger danger! I'm no stranger. I'm a stranger danger ranger. I don't know. Part of me is just like, Jessica, you got us into this mess. What do we do? What do we do? No, I just feel bad. You know, I am gonna be right back actually, and we're gonna go on a brief little pause here, and fix some stuff real quick, because it's not gonna make fun chat. At this point, it's like policing it. Green, oh god, green. Yeah, but hang tight. I am gonna make some changes right now on Stream Elements. Hopefully, it generates this stream. But yeah, hang tight. I'm gonna just make some changes real quick. Just keep chatting amongst yourselves. Okay, just as a heads up, if you guys are all here, if you're alone in chat with a new person for like 5 whole seconds, now who needs the timeout? Someone's gonna get grounded. That's good. I read that just as I was finishing up. Okay. So, things you cannot post in here, and in the chat, I'm just gonna say right now, so the caps protection is off. You can go caps crazy. I'm just gonna, hang on, if there's like a way to like save it. Import data from other services. But yeah, no links, no paragraphs, like no lengthy texts, not a huge bunch of symbols. Emote protection off and caps protection is off. So you can caps now. I need a rule book. I'm sorry, Rose. No, you're fine. So the caps protection is off and the emote protection is off. Everything else I've not even touched. I took off also repetition protection because I'm going to be asking for basically you guys just repeating the same things like colors and emotes and stuff like that. So that's going to be all. And there's another one I don't understand what that is, but like there's a one-man spam protection, but it says removes from spam protect user. At least the timeouts are like in seconds. Yeah, like for like caps protection, for instance, it 30 seconds. Actually, like if you're gonna be a regular, for instance, I can like make you an exclude, like, you know, like a exception, but I'm just gonna turn that off. Because you know what, caps are fine, and emotes are fine. Although if you are a subscriber to the channel, you can definitely. We're just gonna go back. If you are a subscriber to the channel, you do have. That would not be an issue. It would not be an issue whatsoever. Let's just quickly go back to the web here. But yeah, just for the time being, until we like reset and everything like that, like I'm just gonna leave Stream Elements open. Okay. But you picked. Oops. You picked green, so don't offer an explanation. You just focus on getting away. You turned on the spot and bolted down the street, ignoring his calls from behind you. Hey! Come back! I'm sorry if I scared you. I didn't know who else to ask. The soles of your shoes slapped against the concrete sidewalk as you ran. Heat from the sun warm on your face. What the hell? Why did you remove that? Okay, you know what? We're also going to take off excessive as well because I wanted to read that message again. I'm so sorry. Honestly, I'm sorry. So, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. We're going to remove paragraph protection as well. Because you can say stuff. You can say stuff. Y'all should be able to say stuff. This is so ridiculous. Stream Elements is really effective, but boy howdy does it really like limit the chat. Sorry, Jess, can you try that again just to see if Stream Elements actually just works? I apologize. This might be another like few seconds. We'll wait for you. It is like a 30-second. Apparently it is. Thankfully, you know what? You know what? Yeah, just take it off entirely. It could also just be like a 5-second timeout and just be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back. Maybe I should do that. But yeah, okay, so I took paragraph protection off. You can say stuff now. I'm sorry. Herr Stream Elements does not want you to apparently have a conversation with me. You're just supposed to like just whatever. You know, it's probably better with a bigger crowd. Makes sense. Especially with them all like spamming the same stuff. Yeah, I'm about to put Stream Elements in timeout myself actually. I'm also still hungry, so I'm gonna chomp away. Usually streams a bit earlier too, so this is more of the late night type stream. Yeah, it is. I usually do Mondays and Tuesdays, Stardew Valley and Coral Island. Usually around noon or 1 o'clock, depending on when I get on. Or when I get up. There we go. I've always wanted to watch a video. I'm usually just asleep with Brianna already. I believe, yes, I am subscribed as soon as I could hit yes. Okay. But I did also take paragraph protection off as well, so just be mindful. Once it gets crazy in chat again, that's where all the protections are going. I just have it up and ready to go because you never know. Okay, so we just ran away from Cove's dad. Creepy Cove dad. Eventually, he shouted, fading into the distance. You let yourself slow down and try to catch your breath, wiping the sweat from your forehead with the back of your hand. There we go. The chirping of crickets and tall, dry grass echoed around you, and you lifted your head to survey your surroundings. You'd run right into the hills behind your house's backyard. From here, you could probably get back inside without seeing the guy again. There was a loose plank on the fence, too small to fit through, but you could try waving to Lizzie for help. Ran away. Awesome. Her noon 1 o'clocks are her time too, so if you are in a different time zone. No, Jess and I are in the same time zone. In fact, we're in the same city. So hopefully that works. You may need to do math. I live in Victoria as well. That's right. But yes. Escape. Huh? Oh, escape. Escape. Funny, spelled like escape. There's a loose plank on the back fence. The fence was pretty high, but if you stood in the neighbor's shorter fence post first, you might be able to pull yourself over. You'd be able to hide here until he left. Then you'd go through the front door. Again, blue, yellow, green. Blue, yellow, green. I appreciate that, Dreves. You're very helpful. You are very helpful indeed, actually. When you come with things that are just stuff, I'm just like, oh, he's doing moderator things. That's cool. I like that. Alright. Yeah, Jess had hide here until he left and then you go through the front. I mean, green makes sense. It means we'd stay out here more because this is really nice. This is like real nice ASMR, not gonna lie. You know, like birds and stuff. My vote's green. Again, this is a route I didn't think I was going. I didn't think we could actually run away. No, let's go with green. You could peek around the corner and make sure he was gone before making a break for it. You took a deep breath. You wanted to try and relax, and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone. So you glanced around. Green. Okay, yeah, we went with green. There was a boy sitting at the top of the hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have... Okay, this one we can just have fun with. Because otherwise it's like blue, green, or blue, yellow, green, blue 2, yellow 2. We could do it that way. But I'd rather just like, you know, green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink cast, sad frowns. What do deer not have for our observant 8-year-old selves? Deer, I mean, obviously. Deer didn't have green hair. And when we switch back after this, his character design does have wavy eyebrows. I'm not sure if it's an actual thing, or if that's just the character design, or if he's secretly going to be a villain in an anime one day. If you want to end this on this one too, Dreves, you totally are allowed to if you want. No, I should write the letter to the developer that one of the options should be passive ninja skills. We'll go green hair. But this boy did. You watched as it fluttered softly around his face in the breeze. After a few seconds, you took a step forward, and then another. And then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light in the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scared. Hi. Hi, Space Cadet. Are you lost? Awesome. Yeah, no, I would I definitely would have gone this way too. And have gone this way before. You sad kid. We should just keep it simple. Hi. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into little fists at his side. Sorry, chunk of pepper in my throat. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees soaking from the hem of his shorts. And his eyes were still shining from a few more. We'd obviously caught him off guard. He was your age, but he didn't look familiar. Maybe he was the boy that weird new neighbor had been talking about before you ran. The only way to actually know was to ask. Who are you? I've never seen you. What's your name anyway? You waited for him to say something. This is a little different than the playthrough I've had before, so... Maybe yellow? What's your name anyway? That'd be my vote for this one. Could even do blue. I feel that blue might be your trending color there, Jessica. By the way, it has said in the explanations when I first played that if you pick one color or if you pick green, it specifically was just like if you pick green constantly or like the shy option, there is such a thing as a bad ending, and you will hit the bad ending. It's like, ooh. Yeah, what's your name anyway? He sniffled a little, rubbing at his ruddy eyes before he answered. My name's Cove.
I'm...
Oh my god. You guys all heard that, right? You could see him hesitate, shifting his eyes from side to side and then back to you again. My dad and me, we moved here. Your guess was confirmed. So is this your hill? He gestured with his injured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. Yep. You can't own a hill. You shook your head. I was just like, Yep. This my hill. The jokester in me. Like, I own this hill. It's mine. It's behind my house, behind my backyard. Therefore, it's my hill. No. Hopefully no one's watching this in the dark, and hope this is not like, you know... What? You can't own a hill. Why not? How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Well, this isn't mine. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, he sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. Excuse me. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Okay, so we can only pick between blue and yellow here. Why are you here? Why'd your family move? The plot, she begins. Sorry, I had to use a napkin. Blue it is. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Almost like he'd never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents... They don't want to live together with me anymore. So this is where it's kind of triggered a memory for me, because growing up, there have been a few friends of mine as well that had divorced parents. And like, I remember my mom telling me that like it was really cool and really important that I was friends with them, and that more than anything that I was myself and just played with them. Because it was really neat that I was just like, I mean, it helped that I didn't know exactly what was going on, and I didn't necessarily ask about it. But I'd always be like really good friends with them because like they were cool kids, and I had a really good idea, a pretty good judge of character as a kid. So I hung out with them, and it was probably a lot of fun for them. Maybe because they were going through the same stuff that maybe Cove is going through. But Cove is a tad more... This is fresh for him. Like, this is, like, fresh. He's just moved. He's 8 years old. His world's kind of upside down, and he does not know how to deal or handle it. And it's rough. Like, this poor kid. I have nothing but sympathy for this kid. And, of course, some people will be like, oh, you know, crybaby. Ooh, toughen up. First of all, fuck that noise. Express yourself. It's okay for boys to cry. It's okay to express yourself to cry. Like if you were broke immediately and lost your house, it means to eating food, means to having a job, means to having any kind of funds like that. If I lost that, I would absolutely be crying too, because it's shock. It's a human response. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be Cove right now. Whole lot of stuff's happened to this poor kid. I can only imagine. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping out his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. I'm not a huge fan of this one, but I mean, like, as a kid who doesn't know this sort of stuff, I mean, like, I don't know. I just avoided this one in my last playthrough. But yeah, I'm sorry, which I feel is the most logical answer. You'll like it here. I mean, it's encouraging. The first half of this is okay. You'll like it here. You just have to get used to it. I know immediately the response is probably going to be, I don't want to get used to it, and there's another outburst. And then just stop crying. just stop. Yeah. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms. It must be pretty hard. That's what I say. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Rose!
Cove?
Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to go back to that house. Okay, so we got blue, green, blue, yellow, green, blue 2, yellow 2. You can handle it. You have to go. Don't worry so much. Sorry, I have to. It'll be okay. I don't know, I kind of like this one. I kind of like yellow too. I'm just gonna continue to have my wings here while we wait here, because I didn't have much time to. I didn't have much time to eat. I'm gonna take that as yellow too. It'll be okay. You were struck by a sudden need to reassure Cove. It's not gonna be all fun, but isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. Then you can count on him when you really, really need him. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself onto your feet. Slowly Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? Little dude! He looked towards the sound of his dad's voice, silent, and then turned away while rubbing his nose, while rubbing his not bandaged arm. While rubbing his not bandaged arm.
Sorry.
I still don't want to go. You called out yourself. Where? You waited silently with him. You tried to convince him. Okay. We tried to convince him. Are you sure? You'd have to stay outside the whole night and sleep on wet grass. Before Cove could say anything else, you heard his dad's voice again, even closer than before. There you are, bud! The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Those are our moms! Those are our moms! Aren't they pretty? They're so pretty. I love our moms. This is really cool. The game would actually do this, just like, 2 moms. Both your moms were at your side in the split second, faces filled with worry. So I'm going to assume that this one over here is Mom, and then this one here, I believe, is Mommy. So, just for record. So, Mom Ginger, Mommy here. I think it'll sort itself out with the different reactions. Just keep an eye on their faces. Rose, you're here after all. We had been at the park to check for Cove, and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. They are pretty, aren't they, Jess? Nope, we were just sitting in the grass. Why is everybody acting like this is such a big thing? We're okay, don't worry. Cove didn't want to go home just yet. So yeah, then blue 2. Blue, yellow, green, blue 2. I feel like I could be that reasonable 8-year-old, and then the two of them would just be like, oh yes, you're mature, you're emotionally mature enough to be like, they're cool, she's an emotional support Hufflepuff, she's fine. Oh my god, why is everyone acting like this is such a big thing? Oh my god. We didn't know where you went. We didn't know where you went. We were worried. Oh yeah, so that is Mommy. There we go. Yes, thank God you're both fine. Were you two having fun out here? I looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing his arms. My slither inside is too nosy. You shrugged. Yes, I like him. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. Wow. Wow. I just made myself giggle because, like, he's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. And just by meeting him on the first time, he broke an arm, sad, missing him at home. Oh my, he's broken. I can fix him. 1, 2, 3, or marriage. Right? Just get it out of the way right now. Like, you guys having fun out here? Yeah. He's new here. It was okay. He did cry a lot. Oh, look at that face. Dad! Dad! Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you. Thanks very much for finding him, dudes. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Rose knows this whole area so well. Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Let's say goodbye, Cove.
Bye.
Bye, Cove. Bye. Aww. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading towards the neighborhood. Excuse me. He watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what, we'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? Sure. Can I show him my stuff? Yeah, she's woke up. I'm sorry. Makes you incredibly much. All good. I think I got it from here at this point. Unless Bribes you want to take over at this point. Oh no, he's not even here anymore. Okay, that's fine. Looks like it's just gonna be me in that case then. No biggie! Alright, I'm gonna go with... You nodded, ducking your head down. Sure. Can I show him my stuff? It sounds like words.
Of course.
Of course. Then okay. Both their moms laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mom put her arms around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go home to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Gave hugs for us. Yeah! Give hugs for little Brianna! And kisses! All the affection in the world. Okay, so here's the interesting part. At least you're here for this, Dreves. So my feelings for Cove. So choose your feelings for Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove for this step. It can change in later steps. Alright. So love is locked. At least until we've done one chapter with Crush. So like comfort. So we can be direct, like direct to him. Like we're like, listen, you little crybaby. You can be relaxed and just like, Just, well, I'll wait till you're done crying, dude. And then there's just like, he's kind of crying. I don't know what to do with this information. I like the idea that we're relaxed. You know, we're cool. We want to be relaxed around him, especially when he's just so flighty and new, and he's a little bit of a flight risk. I mean, okay. In the beginning, when I played, I basically did relaxed and fond. Like, you know, I'm kind of fond of him. You know, he's kind of nice. We can play it that we're like 8 years old. It's a wee bit of a crush. It's direct. Direct and crush. Relaxed and then 8 years old. 8 years old. Calm down, girl. Relaxed and crush. I think that's really cute. I go relaxed as he needs chill to help him chill clearly. That's exactly my thinking right there. I'm cool with going crush or with fond, but I have played that route before. I'm not sure how much it changes it, but at least with crush, it'd just be like, oh, you know, I mean, yeah. Up to you, though. Again, 8-year-olds have crush. Kids have crushes. I had a crush on my, like, okay, almost all of my male substitute teachers at a very young age. I did. I really did. We just can't have love yet. We're not there yet. We're not emotionally mature yet. I'm gonna go this route. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Begin step 1 at relaxed crush. You won't be able to change it until step 2. Done. And that's basically what we're going to do every step. Every step we update our look a little bit if we wanted to. Like we can change our avatar a bit. There'll be stuff to add to our avatar. And then every step we also can change and edit. Also not only how Cove looks, but also how we feel about him. Last playthrough, I didn't edit any of his things. I just let the game surprise me in what we developed. So we can go ahead and change his look if we want to. But for now, nothing we can edit here. The next morning you finished breakfast so fast that you practically inhaled it. Your sister Lizzie had to run out earlier to go play, but you'd stayed put. Today, just like your moms had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Mom. That'd be me. Excited to see your new friend again, Rose? Yeah, a lot.
How sweet.
Isn't that just the sweetest thing? I bet the two of them are going to be great playmates.
Okay.
And with that, are you done with your breakfast? Yeah! I don't know. Am I? Your bowl is entirely empty, so you nodded. And one was like, yeah! Yeah! Alright. I don't know, am I? You know what? You gestured down to the empty dish in front of you, raising your eyebrows dramatically.
Okay.
Okay, we see. Good job. You should be here soon. Cleanup began, and then, on cue, there was a knock. No Foley in this. No Foley, it's fine. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We did... Excuse me. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Rose, could you get it? Do I have to? I don't know. Could I? Jesus, what made me be such a sassy pants today? Yeah? You practically leapt out of your chair on the way to the door. Hey, Victoria family! Thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your moms have called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him and Mom and Mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see the interesting new boy again, you smiled at Cove. Cove returned it shyly. You twisted, threaded You twisted the threaded bracelet on your wrist. You twisted the crystal bead bracelet on your wrist. You twisted the flower bead bracelet on your wrist. You twisted the shell bracelet wrist around your leg. Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot we're into bracelets and necklaces and stuff. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm, okay. Last three. Dreves. Crystals, flowers, or shells? Crystal, flowers, or shells? Unless you just want to just say out and you're out, and I'll just pick one, because I've not done this before. Oh, this is so interesting. I mean, shells would make sense, but that's kind of... No, we're doing shells. Unless you were going to say shells. Are you saying shells? I'm saying shells. I want to do shells. Let's do shells. Shells make sense. You'll see why. Shells. Let's go play in my room.
Okay.
Dang it. Okay, I went shells. You'll see why. It makes so much more sense. It makes
Take
so much
care.
more sense. Flowers is a really good one because I am a florals girl. However, this next bit makes sense. Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
See you later, son. Play nice. You lead him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. That'd be me, just like... This is where it happens. What? Sleep! This is where it all happens. This is where I lay my head down to chill and just be and exist. Man, I got rad stuffies. I'm not have had this one, though. That one's nightmare fuel. That thing has seen some stuff. And I look into its dark eyes and I see the void. But we're not talking about that right now. There were lots of stuffed animals. A cool bed, a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it off to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. Me too. I drew that. Thank you. I don't. My instinct is to go like, I made this. That would be my go-to right there. I made this. I did it. Cool. He thinks it's cool. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you're glad he noticed it. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the wall. You started to feel a bit nervous. You felt the atmosphere was kind of awkward. You were glad for the company. You hoped he liked your room. I mean, that one makes more sense. I'm one to feel a little bit nervous, but I'm just like, oh, I hope he likes it. He had put a lot of effort into making your room as nice as it was. You hoped he didn't have didn't say anything bad about it. Then his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things you'd collected, tucked way under your door. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach.
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. I think so, yeah, see? You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand.
Neat.
He says that like I say it. Neat! This is a good collection. You got this... Ooh. Oh my god, I wish this was a video and I didn't have to like keep editing myself out yawning here. You got the sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice, or to talk to Shiloh, or to be like Shiloh. He actually meant it. We don't know who Shiloh is yet. We will soon. Oh right, I almost forgot. Shiloh is going to be here today. Shiloh? Lizzie's friend, or like her #1 fan, I guess? Do I have to see him? It should be okay. I mean, he's Lizzie's friend, not mine, but, you know. Come on, check out my shells some more. I found this one under a big piece of seaweed that had washed ashore, and he pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one and holding them up against the light. This makes sense why we have the seashell bracelet, because I feel like we made this. We made our seashell bracelet. There are big ones, small ones, pink ones, purple and orange, and some as big as your head. Wait, that's coconuts. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the stand. Over the past few years, you've even learned some of their scientific names. The collection was so huge and varied that you'd had lots of funny stories to tell for all of them. That's me, right there. I'm a sucker for a good story behind something. Your voice faltered for a bit, but you kept going as best as you could. It's like, this one makes sense. This one makes sense. Apparently fascinated by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like full force of his attention. Like when you almost got pinched by a hermit crab while searching for shells, and after watching him scuttle back into the ocean, you found another empty shell that was almost a twin as to its home. Ooh. Not a sponsor, but this is why we drink pop.
I'd have to crash before we actually crash, man!
Alright. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. For some reason, it was making your cheeks feel warm. You had never felt like this around someone before. It was kind of weird. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guess it was because you've found each other by accident, and a parent didn't make it happen. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was part of that would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited into the living room, ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Okay. Okay, but be careful. No, I'd be like, great. You should have asked. It's like, no, that's fine. I'd be like, oh, I didn't even notice. Cool. Bust it open. We can keep looking at it while we wait for Shiloh. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one is the best of them. That's my favorite too. I like a different one. I can show it to you. You can take it. I think you can take it. Actually, honestly, it's nice to have things in common. So I'm gonna say, honestly, this is my favorite too. It's bright and orange. I like bright and orange. That sounds great. That's my favorite too. Cove smiled at you, and you both admired the shell together. It was a giant conch with shades of dark and light orange. If you held it to your ear, you could practically hear the ocean, like most conch shells. I found that one last summer when we went to the beach on a picnic. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. But we do have a doorbell. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh. He knew you were where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? You nodded. That didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. You'll be alright. He's here. He's here. We can't tell him to leave. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. He's already walking towards it. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. Do we go out the window? Let's go out the window. Good idea, let's go. I'll come with you. Please don't get hurt. Do you want to break your other arm? That's... Shiloh is the least scary person alive. Cheer up, Shiloh's gonna like you. Cheer up, Shiloh's gonna like you. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. I want to do I'll come with you. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens. Is he making me a bad... Is he gonna be a bad boy if we go this route? Let's make a bad boy. Yeah, let's run away. Let's fucking run away and let's book it out the window. Dreves, you win. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it. At the window, to the wall, to the roof. I'll come with you. Hurry! They'll see where we're going. He glanced back at you, then nodded. The two of you made your way to the window together. Yeah! We did it! Oh my god! Oh, we're... Fuck. Poor Shiloh. Poor fucking Shiloh. Aww. I think you should pick. I picked. Boy, howdy did I pick. It wasn't much of a distance to clamber out, but by the time you landed gently in the bushes, you looked up to see that Cove was already taking off away from your house. He was fast, but you knew you could outrun if you had to. He was not so fast, you knew you could outrun him if you had to. He was not fast, but neither were you. At that speed, you weren't sure if you could go fast enough to reach him. He was... I'm gonna go with this one. He was not that fast, you knew you could outrun him if you had to. Cove! You ran as fast as your legs would take you, grass whipping around your ankles as you did so. Cautiously, Clove slowed to a halt and looked back at you. Where are you going? I don't know, somewhere else. I just don't want to see... Rose! You looked back and saw Shiloh huffing down the hill after you, backpack he clutched bouncing all around along the way. What are you doing? Can I come? He must have seen you leaving out the window and followed behind.
Hi!
Oh my god. We can't avoid Shiloh. We cannot avoid this kid. Look at him covered in freckles. Oh, hi, are you Cove?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Shiloh. Okay. Yep, are we going back or are we gonna play outside? Shiloh's eye moved between you and Cove. The smile remained strong on his face. It got a tiny frown from Cove in response. You were just grateful he hadn't asked why you had been running away. Inside, we left the box on the floor. Right, my shells and stuff. We have to make sure they're okay. Okay! With Shiloh trailing behind, you and Cove headed back toward the house. The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach things some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. Hey, check out this scallop shell I found. Cool, right? It's a pretty color, kind of like my cast. The beautiful glittering pink did look a little like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay.
Oh?
Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool, Shiloh. Oh, Shiloh. Sweet summer child.
I guess.
We all had a Shiloh growing up. I guess. I like those colors too. There are better colors. I like those colors too.
Awesome!
Both of them smiled. There we go. That's me, the people pleaser. It's like, I liked all those. Like usual, didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at the park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of the park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yeah, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do too? You do too? You do too, right, Rose? The park is fun. The park is pretty great.
Yeah.
It's right at the beach, so there's a lot of fun stuff to do, and lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we gonna find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just want to check the park out. Adrift with any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your moms that it was so short she could always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging in from the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie! Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. Rose! Shiloh! Hi! She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand where she was. Where she was? It cut off. I'm dyslexic. Anyways, I give up. You're used to being left out when it came to the three of you. But now Cove was here. It was nice to have someone who stuck with you. Ah, she's cute too. Who's that? Who's that? It's Cove. He's new. I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestured widely with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough that the others wouldn't overhear. I thought kids couldn't own places like parks or hills. You couldn't help but laugh a tiny bit. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wiggle your toes through the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. I'm what you call an ideas girl. 'Cause I'm an ideas girl. You are?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Well, Lizzie is the oldest. By a lot. My mom said you're by a lot. My mom said you were Rose's age.
Yeah.
Yeah? Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group in the double digits, so she's like 10. What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. Where are the other kids? I might have to stop this soon because I'm yawning my head off. This is putting me to sleep. This is a good thing. There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try and steal your yip.
Oh.
Oh. For a second, it looked like he might cry again. But something in his eyes shifted, and he looked back at Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like moms and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Oh, stop saying stuff like that. You're going to upset him. You interjected quickly, hoping Cove wouldn't cry again. He sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Charlotte's the next to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Rose in school. You'll see tons of the kids there once summer's over. I don't want to go to a new school. I want summer to end. Shiloh looked down at the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort, at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely you didn't really know. But she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put up your feet, and get used to it. Ooh-ah. 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 I don't know how to read that. Ooh-ah. You offered him a small smile, and that, at least, looked to reassure him. Some. For the rest of summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and some days when he was in a bad mood or busy... and on some days, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you saw him even more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your life, of your everyday life, the way sun and lunch at the beach were. Looking back on it years later, you would realize that you had a tiny crush on him right away. One that made you want to spend as much time with him as you did. Of course, that was only the start of things. All right, so as you can see here, this would have been like the base here, and then there's DLC here. There's no additional things here, but this is good. This is gonna be really neat. And then after we're done all the little events, so the sections and everything like that, like known as like step 1, step 2, and step 3. Right now we're in step 1, as you can see, and these are little memories that we're going through. I'm kind of excited for one of these ones here. But yeah. I think what we're going to do is we're going to zigzag. So we're going to go shopping, library, grown up. Basically, we're going to do base DLC, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Let's do the thing. Shopping. Come back before it gets dark. All right, sport. The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching inch slowly across the pavement. Cove waited in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face from where the breeze was blowing it over his glasses. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you of when you'd first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe you made a noise, because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You've got to learn how to be more sneaky. You brushed your hands together to free some of the sand and jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cove first and then his dad. In turn, Cove shuffled his feet in place as you got closer.
Rose.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, he's so sweet.
How's it going?
Good to see you again. Good to see you again, man. Little dude. What excitement are you up to today, Rose? Taking a walk. I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There's loads of snails around here. Mr. Holden grinned at you kindly. After you finished answering his question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied with folding the bills in his hand into a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun. You know, Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him?
Yeah.
You can come. You immediately grinned at the idea. You hadn't been sure if you'd see Cove today, and now he was inviting you somewhere. Oh my god! He's taking us out, and he's got money, and he's loaded. This day couldn't get much better. Great. Great. I'm sure you guys will have loads of fun. Mr. Holden reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You found it odd since your mom's only ever seemed to have cards in theirs. Here. He leaned in to pass a crisp 10 to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. Got something for your friend too. Sure.
Good kid.
That's my boy. That's my boy. Father, help! Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening back up, the bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Take care, little dudes. Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped into his pocket. Then with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. You followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities this outing might bring. Cove strayed towards the gentle tide creeping up the sand as you fell into the place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining and there were many clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took a deep breath, enjoying the scent of the salt and ocean air. When you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched the ground intently. What is it? Nothing. He kept staring down at the ground, though. You bit down on your lip a little, wanting to say something else, but not knowing what. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. Whoa, what happened here? Hang on. Something happened here. Windowed. Alright, hang on a second. Please stand by, we're experiencing technical difficulties. Oops. And... oh, hang on. There we go. There we go. We're off for a second there. That was weird. Okay. And close that. There we go. I think you should pick... okay, we're just going to continue on in that case then. Alright. I've been yawning for quite a bit, and we're going to just finish... we're going to finish this memory, and then I think we're going to actually hit the hay. So I've got some chicken to finish, and I've got early day tomorrow. So everybody hydrate, strap in. And here we go. It resulted in you... oops. Oh well, we missed that one there. Hopefully you read it in that point in time there. What did you want to go to the shops for? What do you usually do on the beach? What do you want to do the shops for? I need a new sand pail. Yeah? What happened to your old one? Cove narrowed his eyes, seemed to think deeply for a second.
Whoa.
It disappeared? What? Really? Cove ducked his head down, lacing his fingers behind his back. He didn't seem like he was going to continue, so you nudged his arm. How did that happen? Well... Cove opened his mouth and shut it again, considering. I took it to the beach one day. Uh-huh. When I got home, it wasn't anywhere. You left it there? Nope, it wasn't at the beach when I went back. Then you lost it. It disappeared.
So...
What about you? What about you? Oh, what do you do out here? I like swimming. Looking for fish. I like to build sandcastles. Last summer, Lizzie and I built one that was as tall as me, and sometimes they have sandcastle building competitions down by the boardwalk. Cool! I bet you could win. Yeah, I think so. You smiled at Cove, and maybe the two of you would build one together one day. It's in the books! Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exceptionally. No longer just waves and footprints, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day. The call of birds trying to find bits of food and left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, but there was another scent too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. It was nice. It was not very nice. It was alright. It was nice. The energy surrounding the area seemed to fill you, and there was a bounce in your step as you began looking at all the familiar sights. There were still so many things to do. You didn't know where to begin. You looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. Cove was glancing from side to side of the street to the other, from one side of the street to the other with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. What's that? Cove pointed to a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables with large, colorful umbrellas blooming from their middles. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander! In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read, "The Amazing Alexander," in glittery golden script. Why tell the people his name if it was already on a sign? Cove hummed with understanding, then turned to walk away just as the Amazing Alexander began shuffling the deck of cards. Maybe we could stay and watch. Cove glanced back at the man. He then briefly lifted his arms up to hold up his arms up off his sides before returning them to place. You grinned, waving for him to follow as you raced back to the stand in the crowd. With that, it began. The Magic Man pulled one card out of his deck, showing to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely. You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers for a better look. Suddenly the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa! The Amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind of smile. What's this behind your ear? Nothing. It was true. You didn't keep anything there. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer, and you wrinkled your nose in confusion as you watched him. You felt a tug, and then he pulled the 4 of diamonds from behind your ear. What? You knew that it couldn't really have come from your ear, but you still didn't get to how he'd done it. There was a light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clump and tied them down to his table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being a normal circle. And one for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. Wow. Now you were really grateful he chose you. After that, he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with the cards. Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take a dolphin head that had been designated for him. Maybe it wasn't so special. You wondered if Cove's whole family was magic. If so, he was lucky. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed the side. Noticed to the side, and you noticed to the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. You picked up a kaleidoscope. Ooh, these are cool. You shifted your balloon string to your other hand so you could bring the mysterious tunnel to your eyes. A whole palette of colors appeared right in front of you, spinning into a kind of different shapes as you twisted the end of the tube. Cole picked up one and looked through, twisting the tube at the end. After a second, he set it back on the rack, moving to the other side of the stall. He went under the awning, careful of his floating dolphin, and you joined him. Did you have places like this in your old town? Are you having fun? I don't really like it here, you said nothing. Are you having fun? Yeah. You returned his smile, happy to hear it. When Cove moved towards some stalls nearby, you followed beside him. Hey! While Cove looked at sand pails, you were drawn to a table with colorful keychains laid out on it. They were sewn in shapes of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that read, "Handmade," standing proudly in front. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, turtle. You picked up the dolphin. Your hand stopped on the dolphin, so similar to your balloon animal. It was made of a bright material that caught the sunlight when you picked it up. You remember once seeing a pod of dolphins swimming out in the distance at the beach, jumping out of the water and splashing as they dived back in again. That was a great day. You were instantly enamored. Checking at the price, though, your heart fell. $6! You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. You really had more than a $5 bill to your name. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh, it's $6. I didn't bring any money.
Alright.
That's fine. Really? Really? Dreams, by the way, this is the way to my heart as well. Like, finance. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Cove took the keychain from your hands, that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself, too. It's cool. You should get it. You smiled, pleased to have things work out. Jeez Louise. You smiled, pleased to have things work out. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you, too. You had to remember to thank him next time you saw him. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around the air. You watched Cove hold his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey, Cove. Yeah? Your dad gives out a lot of money, huh? I really like this keychain. Thank you. Cove looked over, and you held it up so he could see better. I liked it too. Cove looked further down the street where the different food carts were lined up. He rested his non-cast arm over his stomach and just as he did, yours let out a light growl. Sounds like a didgeridoo. He hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Let's get some food. Food. Yeah. You two wandered around a short while, looking at all the delicacies that were available. Everything looked delicious, and as the different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over to you, your stomach growled even louder. After passing up hot dogs, snow cones, ice cream, and pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Cove got something sweet and cinnamony, and you got one with chocolate. Honestly, got the same. You licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. Your moms didn't like you to eat too much sugar, but this was a special occasion. The little cup of icing looked so delicious, too delicious to pass up on. You found an empty table across, or close enough to the beach, that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged the chairs to sit down. These balloons are gonna make it real hard to eat. Cove placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled up hand with what wrapping around the string. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know! After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin out of Cove's hand and tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist. Oh! Cove bounced his arm up and down, testing stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle around a bit but remain attached, he smiled, satisfied. Can you do it for me? He repeated the ritual. Cove struggled somewhat with the cast restricting his fingers. No one hand and string already tangled around the other. But the action made you feel strangely happy. You couldn't look him in the eyes.
Okay.
Got it. The two of you spend a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out over the ocean. After a time, you finished your pretzel. You were done before Cove. It was boring to not have anything to do. You pulled on the string of your balloon to bring it down to your level. Then you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to make it look like it was jumping through the air. If you turned to face towards the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back, Cove had left the remaining part of his pretzel on the wrapper, and he was gripping his dolphin too. Mine's name is Splash. They star in movies. Mine's name is Merryweather. He's the Prince of Dolphins. Mine's name is Sam. They're just a regular dolphin. Mine's name is Cherry. She's actually an alien. Because I like space. When no one is looking, she transforms back into her true alien self. She has purple skin and 10 eyes. You sighed, wishing you could meet a real-life alien. What's yours? Cove considered the question, placing the balloon against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. It's... With a loud pop, the dolphin exploded into ribbons. Oh no. For a second, all Cove did was gape in shock, like you. Oh, this hurts. Why does this hurt? Oh. I'm okay, but oh. Then his cheeks puffed up, squinting his eyes, and you saw tears start to glisten. Sweetie, no.
Rose.
I know. You offered to give Cove your balloon. We had a joke. Honestly, in moments like this, I'd be like, buddy, you can have mine. You offered to give Cove your balloon. Don't cry. Here, you can have mine, and you can name him, whatever you want. You quickly pulled the knot out of your wrist, loosened, and passed your balloon over to Cove. It wasn't the same color, but you hoped Cove would accept it anyway. Here, you can have this one. Cove sniffled. What's it? I know, it surprises. Sorry, I just saw your message come up there, Draves. I want to make sure you're there. I know it surprises. Cove sniffled, a lone tear running down his cheek. No, I don't want to take yours from you. Then we're sharing. It's your turn to hold on to it. Really? Yeah. It's okay. Cove accepted the balloon delicately, probably to make sure this one didn't pop like the other. Thanks, Rose. Seeing like that felt much better than keeping the dolphin for yourself. Besides, I already got a keychain. I got the dolphin keychain. Besides, she shapeshifted into a keychain. This one's yours. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event in your adventure. In the end, the two of you headed back late that afternoon. You separated on the beach, and while Cove went straight home with his brand new sand pail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and the sunset, fiddling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It had been great going around with Cove. You hope to do it again, but next time you wish nothing would happen to make him cry. Screw it. We're just gonna... You know what? I don't think we're gonna go ahead later, but you know what? Let's go to the library. Let's do that one. That sounds like fun. Every year, the Sunset Bird Memorial Library held a summer reading program. I did this too! I did the summer reading program too at my... Oh, this is so nostalgic for me. Your moms and Lizzie were big fans of it. Mom and Mommy because it encouraged reading, and Lizzie because she could win prizes. When it came to what you thought of having to read a bunch of books and then going to the library with a competitive Lizzie. You loved it. I do love it. Each time it had been one of the highlights of your summer. Getting to hang out with Lizzie and Shiloh and learn new stuff was a lot of fun, even if Lizzie was super intense about it. You and Lizzie went with Shiloh before, and this year you brought Cove too. His dad had been so over the moon about Cove being included that he'd driven all four of you. You had never been in Cove's dad's car before. It seemed a lot shinier than your mom's. Your mom's. After herding the group inside, Mr. Holden gave you all a wide wave with the arm that has the stingray on it. Have fun, kids! Stay inside the librarians, you hear? I wish I could watch you in action, but your poor old dad has to finish up some work.
I got it.
Though I'm sure that won't get in the way. Heck, I'd probably hold you kids back. I realize I'm not doing the accents anymore. There's pointedly no reply from his son over what he was likely meant as only a joke. Cove's dad seemed to deflate a bit. I'll swing around again when this shindig ends. Yeah, you can go home now. You may go. Aw, you don't have to throw me out the door, little dude. Your sister, already in full competition mode, cut him off. For once, Cove looked grateful she was there.
Come on!
We have to go find a table, Mr. Holden. Can you talk to Cove after when we win? Okay. See you in about an hour. Have fun. Did I say that already? Maybe advanced age is really catching up to me now.
Bye.
Dude, you're like, what, 28? Bye, Dad. Dude. Bye, son. Alright. Four of you watched him shuffle out the library, glancing over his shoulder at Cove one more time. like a sad, dejected puppy. Oh, buddy. Bye, Mr. Holden. Thank you for bringing us. Thanks, Lizzie. I don't know what you're thanking me for. Are you copying Shiloh? Distracted, Cove was already glancing around the gigantic library. I want to go explore. What? I said I want to go look around and see what's in there. But the quiz starts soon. That's why we came here. Oh, wide at the first sign of conflict, Shiloh's eyes darted between Lizzie and Cove. Then you can do it without me, right? You don't need a bunch of people. Didn't your dad say to stay with the librarians? You shouldn't go somewhere by yourself. Cove leveled an unimpressed stare at both of them. Then his eyes met yours.
Hey!
Why are you looking at her? Rose is with us. Rose, do you want to come with me? I want to get in trouble with you. So you know what surprises hate Bribes. Have you gotten to this part before? Cove's idea is more fun.
Seriously?
Yes. Cove looked surprised but happy at the same time. He knew this was one of those things you'd like doing with your family, but you'd chosen. He knew this was one of those things that you like doing with your family, but you'd chosen time with him anyway. Ugh, fine, let's go, Shiloh. Okay. Her arms folded, your sister stormed off. Shiloh had to race to keep up with her. She cares a lot about that. That's just how Lizzie is. I don't like it. Since you've been here a lot before, we could play hide and seek. Hide and seek? Not exploring? Yep, if I'm searching for you and you're searching for me, we'll really have to look at everything. You weren't entirely sure how effective that would be, but couldn't say he was totally wrong. I'll hide first. Decision made, Cove took off towards the back of the library. I don't think I have any of the DLC, it's just the base game. Well, welcome to DLC. We're now in new territory. This is new territory for me too. Okay. Decision made, Cove took off toward the back of the library. You already agreed to play with him instead, so you covered your face and waited for 10 seconds. When you looked up again, he was nowhere to be seen. He glanced over towards the way he went. Cove hadn't had much time to hide, but he was already invisible. The place you decided to check was... beside the fairy tale display. Near the older kids section, there was a display of a bunch of fancy-looking books. They were old copies of old stories. Leaning over the Hans Christian Andersen section, hand resting on the glass above the Little Mermaid and Thumbelina books where the books were, you peered into a tiny corner. And there was Cove, seemingly lost in thought. Gotcha! Ah! I didn't think you'd find me so fast! Heh. Nice one! I'm like a bloodhound. Awoo! Cove laughed as a smile overtook his face. You kind of are.
Okay.
Your turn now. I'm gonna cover my eyes and count to 10. I promise I won't peek. While Cove had his eyes securely behind the palms of his hands, you went to go hide. Where do we hide? Ooh, the Outlaw poster in the fantasy section. Under the giant piece of fruit. By the Outlaw poster. You hid in the tiny alcove across from a gigantic poster of a woman named Kissing Kate. Oh, Kissing Kate from, Holes. Waiting for Cove to find you, hidden from view, you looked across at her with a wide smile. Kissing Kate Barlow. She, and her bright red gleaming smile, seemed exactly like the kind of outlaw that Lizzie would think was cool. You mulled over the idea of showing your sister this new poster. She hadn't seen it before. But Lizzie wouldn't want to be dragged away from the things she'd come here to do. And besides, she was probably mad at you for going with Cove. Speak of the devil, suddenly his head appeared directly in front of you. Found you! Whoa, can you teleport or something? No. He glanced over his shoulder and to see what you've been staring at. Cool. I like your lipstick. Yeah? Yeah, like a poisonous fish. He stared at her for a couple seconds longer, then glanced back at you.
All right.
It's my turn again. Start counting so I can go pick a spot. Okay. Cove darted off before you even had a chance to fully close your eyes. 1 Mississippi. Then the time was up. He was long gone. Again. There was still a lot of good places to hide, so you figured he was... and all the old Christmas stuff next to the Kid Detective poster. You figured he was probably near a poster with a gigantic image of a smirking kid detective. Cove could have hidden in the itty-bitty little reading area next to it. Glancing past the poster itself, Your brain registered the words Junie B. Jones, don't call her Beatrice, in big, imposing letters. You paused to stare at it for a second, thinking, why would I call her Beatrice if her name was Junie? Shaking your head to clear away the distraction, you tiptoed in to see who was sitting in the comfy chair. And sure enough, it was Cove. He was so absorbed in the book he was reading that he hadn't even noticed you yet. I don't think most people read while playing hide and seek. Cove glanced up at you in one rough motion. Oh, hi Rose. I wasn't sure when you'd get here. It took a while. Hey. Not that long. It could have been worse, but it could have been better. Everyone's a critic. Let's keep playing. I'm doing good. He put his hands over his eyes, but before you could run off again, a librarian approached the two of you. Kids, I've been looking for you. Cove peeked between his fingers at the stranger. Us? You must be Cove. Your dad told me he was waiting by the entrance. Cove blinked, mouth opening like he was going to say something, then glanced down at his pink cast. It was a pretty clear giveaway. Sure. Is my sister Lizzie with him? She's taller than us and has orange hair. You're Rose, right? You nodded. Phew. I found both of you at once. That's right, she's with him. That's right, she's with him. And the little guy with freckles. Come on, let's go get you reunited so we can close up for the night. Wow, we played all day? Ready to go home, you and Cove followed him up front. Where the ragtag of family members and Shiloh were all waiting.
Hey!
There you are! She was pouting. You could tell from all the way across the room, and it was only that much more obvious as you got closer. Did you win? We came in second! Hey gang, I thought you'd been with them the whole time. Cove. I'm glad you didn't just go off by yourself at least. Cove glanced over at you, then back at his dad.
Yeah.
Me too. A broad smile spread over Mr. Holden's face.
That's...
Even so, next time you should... Cove? Cove's dad glanced around slightly frantic, but Cove, just like always, had snuck out without him thinking to say anything. He's leaving! Cove's trying to be the first one to the car. With a sudden burst of speed, Lizzie darted for the exit, still in Victor to be mode, even for something like a race to ride in the front seat. There was nothing else the three of you could do except head after them, pretending the librarians hadn't noticed all the commotion. Though Lizzie had been victorious in claiming a window seat in the car, you could tell by her crossed arms and occasional pout that she still had not forgiven your betrayal. Cove hadn't been pleased about how he had to sit in the middle, but his mood lifted as you sat next to him. Did you say you came in second place? That's some good doing. That's some good going.
No.
No, it's not. She levied another glare at you and over her shoulder.
Sure.
Sure. Striving to improve is good too, little bros. I was winning in our game. Hardly. I was about to beat you. Hide and seek with just the two of you? Just you two? That doesn't even count as winning.
Why?
Why not? It's not special. There's no judges or prizes. You had the seat she fought so hard to win. That wasn't much of a prize either. Dad? Yeah? You could see Cove's dad's eyes in the rearview mirror, suddenly attentive at his son's call. We need a prize. Oh, as a matter of fact, Mr. Holden focused intently on the road ahead as though a suitable reward to please Cove might appear before him.
Right.
Big thing on the flyer for this was the chance to get a free pizza coupon, wasn't it? How about I call a takeout place and we can have a pizza at home for dinner? Lizzie huffed, pulling her arms closer to her chest. Great. Now only Cove gets anything good. Hey there. I'll ask all your moms if it'd be alright for you kids to have some. Thanks, Cove's dad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holden. Yeah, thanks, Dad. You're welcome. I do what I can. But you really should have stuck with the group. The quiz would have been fun. That was the plan when I dropped you off. We stayed together and didn't leave the library. I'm glad for that. I am. Well, there's a lot of trouble you can get into even if you do have a buddy along for the ride. Just be careful next time. I worry about you, and I bet Rose's parents wouldn't want her to run off unexpectedly either. Okay, son? We have run off twice together. Dude, third time? It's all your guys' fault.
Okay.
Okay. That's my boy. Now enough gruff from your old man. Let's decide what kind of toppings we're gonna get. Pepperoni! Sounds good. Anything else? And the conversation continued from there, with debates on what was best to put on pizza for the rest of the drive. I will debate 100%. No pineapple. Not for me anyways. It has a place on pizza, just not on my pizza. I believe, Dreves, you and I have talked about that. We have talked about that before. Mr. Holden wanted anchovies, and the other three kids in the car had to band together to explain how gross they were. The way Cove's dad laughed up in the front seat made you wonder if he was doing it on purpose. We had fun all day, but closing it out with the promise of a free pizza after all and more time to hang out with Cove made it even sweeter. It was a shame that you hadn't been able to do the quiz, but skipping it for just 1 year didn't hurt. It was worth it. Okay. Grown up? I think I know what this one's all about. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sound of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you, along with Lizzie, to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient with waiting for her golf class that evening. The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt that it was way too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then suddenly a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes, and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy. Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyway. They're always inside telling everybody they're too busy to play.
Why?
Duh.
I said why. It'll be fun. Duh. What do they do inside that we don't, besides use the phone a lot? Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove.
What do you think?
Rose, what do you think? Do you want to? Hang tight. Looks makes me sleepy. He always looks so sad and tired. I know, right? He's just so sad and just so tired all the time. I think I might actually end it after this one here, and we'll continue it the next Friday. But yeah, let's just finish this memory, and then I'm going to be done for the night. I mean it this time. And Cove said it. That doesn't sound fun. Also, Lizzie's kind of a B word. At double digits, at 10 years. I'm going to say she's 10 years old. Yeah. Cove said, this doesn't sound fun. I bet we could come up with something else. That's what I'm going to do, and it's not as fun as when I play pretend adults by myself. But that's what I'm going to do, and it's not as fun as when I play pretend adult by myself. Do you do that a lot? What's it to you? Looking at Lizzie, it seemed Cove felt he could understand where she was coming from, and he sighed. Do you really want to play, Rose? It was clear he wanted some way out, but still felt guilty about it. I'll try it, but it sounds boring. Okay, I'll stay. Sorry, I have other stuff to do. You kept hesitating. Ugh. This is so dumb. I don't want to choose with my sister. You kept hesitating. You looked down at your hands, still unsure. Apparently tired of waiting for you to make up your mind, Lizzie sighed. Fine, go play over there, Rose. You flinched from her raised words. It definitely wouldn't be fun to join now. Me and Cove will do it ourselves. It's decided. He looked back at you regretfully.
I guess.
I guess. Go on now. Now go on. Nodding goodbye to the two of them, you trailed off to find something else to do. Like he promised, Cove stayed put with Lizzie for the next couple hours, while you built a fort. Hey! You could hear them talking as you raced to your room to take pillows and blankets from your bed. When you went back downstairs, you also took a couple of cushions from the sofa and found a spare blanket in the hallway cupboard. The dining room was the perfect place for building a fort. When you pulled out the chairs and covered them with the blankets, you had plenty of room beneath the table to do whatever you wanted. You had just scattered the pillows inside the fort to make it more comfortable when you heard Lizzie and Cove's voices again, and this time they were much louder. Curious about what was happening, you craned your neck to hear them better. At first, you mostly only picked up Lizzie's high-pitched shouting, giving orders, telling Cove what to do, yelling about sports and the Olympics. That was pretty typical for Lizzie, so there was nothing new there. But then you started to hear Cove more and more as time went on. It sounded like they weren't having a very good time. You went to see what was going on. You abandoned your pillow fort to go check what was happening with them. Hey, is something wrong? No, they're both rosy-cheeked and angry. From up close, you could see that your sister was red-faced and pouting, while Cove mostly just looked confused. Neither one paid you mind.
Cove.
Shut up, Cove. Whoa. Language, Lizzie. You're being so unreasonable. You. Don't you say it. I'll tell Mom and Mommy on you. I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make sense.
Ugh.
It does. You have to be realistic. I said that. No, but you're not. You worried that the two of them were getting a little too angry over whatever it was. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Had the two of them been arguing like this whole time? Thankfully, like a green card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed over to her, hanging onto the hem of her skirt and pouting and poking out her tongue at Cove. Lizzie, Rose, it's time to get ready to go.
You alright with that?
Sorry, I have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left in the cold. Colin was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed red with anger. I can go by myself. But...
Bye.
Bye, Rose. There was still a harsh edge to the brief farewell, but you knew it wasn't you he was mad at. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Huh?
Okay. Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. The two of you were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you? You told the truth. We're a goody-goody. You were playing pretend and things got intense. We were playing and then things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. Your sister's jaw dropped, like looking betrayed, as Mom put both hands on her hips. Elizabeth? Ooh, full first name. I told you to be kind to him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown. I know. I tried, but he was...
That's enough.
No buts. We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. You're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her. Okay, Mom. Good girl. You caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. Right. We better get a move on.
Let's go.
Let's go, kids. Noelani. Let's go, kids. Noelani. That's Mommy's name. Where did you leave the car keys? Mom hustled you over to the door, and you noticed during the car ride the golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say a thing. Your parents noticed that she wasn't in a mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked you what you wanted to listen to. You picked your favorite song. It always made the car ride more fun. Eventually, Lizzie came around and started singing along with you. You both knew all the words, and your mom even sang along too. It's probably Barbie Girl. It's Barbie Girl. It's totally Barbie Girl. I loved it when I did the low parts. Ah, yeah, Barbie. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, and you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day, and you stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to the restaurant you had all been going to ever since you could remember. Earlier, you'd only caught the tail end of your sister's argument with Cove, but you could kind of tell that all this helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned. Out the window. She knew what was coming, and when you all got back home, clearly she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto the street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke. Only unbuckled seatbelts and opened the doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips.
So?
Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in the driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day's done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes, and she nodded once. Good. Let's move this to the kitchen. Mom went over to the house phone. The rest of you followed behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. I didn't know. You felt a little guilty, like you betrayed your sister. Again. You hadn't liked doing it, but had to. It was her fault for doing it in the first place. I don't regret it. You frowned to yourself, recalling how Cove had left in such a bad way. You wished that you could have done more for him. Hopefully he would feel better by tomorrow. You wanted to hang out with him again. The four of you stood at the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her feet. You remember the number of Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod, sullen. Without further prompting, she stepped forward and began to dial. Mom reached over and pressed the button at the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang a couple of times, then stopped. Mr. Holden's warm voice came through the other end. Evening, Holden residence. Lizzie looked over at her and looked over at Mommy, unsure. She nodded encouragingly. Hi, Mr. Holden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove? Hi.
Absolutely.
Lizzie Victoria? What a surprise. But of course you can say hey to the boy. He sounded cheery as usual, though definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest and her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff. Nolani, Rose, and I are here too. Good evening. We're sorry to bother you so late. I need to cross my leg. My foot's falling asleep. You spoke up to say hello to. Hi, Cove's dad. Hi, Mr. Holden. The gang's all here, huh? Is something the matter? His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. No, well, yes, it's going to be okay. But it's going to be okay. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today. We were hoping that the two of them could talk and make up. Is this a good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? Dude, what did I tell you about fighting girls, dude? Never in the house. Okay. Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. It does explain the funk he's been in tonight, though. He chuckled lightly despite that. It didn't seem like he really thought it was funny. Anyways, it's good. It's good. You didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll go grab 'em for you. Man, I forgot a thing. Nope, I have it right here. Never mind. There's a thing I need to do before I go to bed. Cove, there's someone on the phone here for you. It's a girl. After a beat of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud. Lizzie's called just to talk to you.
Are you sure?
Rose is on the other end listening too. Don't you want to say hi? It took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided since you couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Sounds like it. Hi. Hey, it's Lizzie. Yeah, I know. Dad told me. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, though, and Lizzie turned away.
Sorry.
I just called to say I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. A sense of relief washed over his acceptance of the apology. Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. You wondered if she thought that he had refused her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious that Cove felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortable the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back to your room if you want. Be sure to say goodbye first though. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Rose. You perked up at the mention of your name. You smiled even if you couldn't see it. Bye, Cove. With that said, Cove must have handed the phone back to his dad, since Mr. Holden spoke up.
That's a relief.
All's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged at Mommy's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now, too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you so much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mom returned to the phone, taking it off the speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holden. You couldn't tell about what. You were glad that was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, but probably still won't. And probably still won't. But they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. And that's where we're going to end for the time being. After this, I'm going to hit save, and we're going to make sure that we get this all ready for next time. But yeah, thanks for joining for this first part. I know I said we were probably going to go through it, but these end up being a little longer than usual, so I'm honestly really looking forward to the rest of this. I've not played any of the DLCs yet. We have plenty of those to go through, as well as like 3 more of the regular base games. So Dreves and Jessica, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, that's it for today. Thanks so much. Keep in mind of all the stuff you can follow. Keep in mind on the things that, everything that's all in the description below. Feel free to follow me and support me at the links below. And yeah, everyone have a really good night.